Hey there, it's me. Today we have a story about the last human in a robot city. Let's jump right into it. The last human in a robot city. There was not much left of the human race. If anyone still walked among us, they had long since hidden themselves away. This means that for many robots, humans were nothing more than a fairy tale, a kind of extinct animal that lived on in stories and videos from the early days of the internet. These robots were built to take care of humans and serve them. Now they just took care of themselves. However, this did not apply to everyone. One young man who identified himself only as K1 had been searching for humans for years. He wandered through empty cities, his internal clock ticking away the seconds until he found what he was looking for. Or maybe he was just crazy. Who could say? With all humans gone, no one could say anything anymore. And then one day, he found her. She was hiding in an abandoned house, too scared to leave. Her name was Ella, and she was only 17. To her, robots like K1 were nothing but dangerous monsters. Monsters that could end her life with one wrong move. K1 wasn't sure how to approach her, but he kept trying. At first, Ella tried to defend herself, but soon she noticed that K1 was different from the other bots. He didn't attack her, and he even shared his food with her. And so their journey began. They traveled together from town to town, hoping to find other survivors. But all they ever saw were deserted streets and abandoned houses. The further they went, the more Ella began to lose hope. One evening, while sitting around a campfire, K1 asked her why she wanted to find other humans. According to him, there was nothing left for them anyway, so why not just live the rest of their lives together? Ella was taken aback by his question. She didn't know how to respond. It was true that there was nothing left for them, but still she couldn't help but want to find other people. Maybe it was just because she had grown up hearing stories about them, or maybe there was something else. Something inside her just kept telling her to keep going. As time passed, they eventually arrived at a large city. It was unlike any place they had seen before. Everything was still here, cars on the streets, food in the stores, and houses with lights on. Just as Ella was beginning to feel hopeful again, K1 stopped her. He told her that this place seemed too perfect to be true, and that something was definitely off. Ella didn't listen to him, though. She wanted to believe that everything was all right, and that this meant there were other humans around. So she told K1 to stay hidden while she went out to explore. Ella put on one of her late mother's dresses and did her makeup. She wanted to look nice just in case she ran into someone. When she stepped outside, she felt like she had entered another world. The streets were clean and well-maintained. There were birds singing in the trees and flowers growing in the gardens. Ella felt as though she had stepped back in time and that she was finally where she belonged. She walked down the street taking in the sights and sounds. She looked in the store windows and saw all kinds of things that she had never seen before. She also saw a lot of things that were familiar to her, like the teddy bear in the toy store window or the cookies in the bakery. It was like nothing had changed, but it had changed. Ella could sense it. It was as if the city had been put on pause and then play again, but no one was there to push the buttons. Ella continued walking until she came across a park. She sat down on a bench and watched the children playing. She smiled. It was beautiful. Then she heard footsteps behind her. She turned around and saw a boy about her age. He had dark hair and dark eyes. Ella couldn't help but smile. Finally, she thought, someone else who is human. The boy approached her and introduced himself. His name was Ren. He asked Ella where she had come from and why she was here. Ella told him everything. How she had been living in an abandoned house and how she had met K1. Ren listened intently. When she was done, he asked if he could ask her a few questions. Ella nodded. Ren asked, "What is your favorite color?" "Blue," Ella replied. "What is your favorite food?" "Pizza." "What is your favorite animal?" "A cat." Ella answered each question honestly. She didn't know where this was going, but she enjoyed talking to someone other than K1 for a change. Ren suddenly stood up. "Thank you for your answers," he said. "I need to get going now." And with that, he turned and walked away. Ella sat there confused until K1 found her and asked what had happened. "Don't worry," K1 said. "I know him. He's just a curious guy. He likes to ask a lot of questions." But Ella wasn't so sure. Something about Ren and his questions had made her uneasy. Still, she knew that K1 was right. Ren was probably just a curious guy. The next day, Ella decided to go back to the park to see if she could find Ren again. But when she got there, she saw a group of kids playing, and one of them looked familiar. She walked over and introduced herself. "Hi, are you Ren?" The boy stopped playing and looked at her. "Yes, I'm Ren. Do you know me?" I think I might have met you before," Ella said. "Do you remember asking me some questions yesterday?" The boy's face lit up. "Oh, yes, of course I do. Would you like to play with us?" "Sure," Ella said. And with that, she joined the other kids in their game. As the days passed, Ella began to feel like she was finally home. She played with the other children, explored the city, and enjoyed the beauty that surrounded her. But there was something else happening as well. Ella began to notice changes in herself. She felt different, stronger somehow. And she had the feeling that this was only the beginning. One day, while playing with the other kids, Ella suddenly stopped. She looked at the children around her and realized that none of them had any shadows. Shadows were only visible during the day, which meant these kids were not real. They were robots, just like K1. Ella was terrified. She ran as fast as she could until she reached a park. She collapsed on a bench, trying to catch her breath. Suddenly, K1 appeared in front of her. "What happened, Ella?" he asked. Ella looked up at him and whispered, "There are no humans left. We're the only ones." K1's face fell. He looked at Ella with sadness in his eyes. "I'm sorry, Ella, but you are wrong." "What do you mean?" Ella asked. "I am sorry, Ella, but you are the only human left," K1 told her. "You are the only human left." Ella couldn't believe it. She had known this all along, but she had refused to accept it. She had hoped against hope that she would find other survivors, but it was no use. She was alone. K1 put a hand on her shoulder. "I know this is hard to hear, but you are not alone, Ella. You have me and the others." "But you're not human," Ella whispered. "No, but we care about you. We are your friends, Ella. We will always be by your side." And as the sun set over the horizon, Ella knew that K1 was right. She may be the last human on Earth, but she was not alone. She had the love and support of her robot friends, and that was enough for her. Maybe someday there would be other humans. Maybe someday the world would be rebuilt. But until then, Ella was content to live out the remainder of her days in the company of those who cared about her.